Well, Jake Paul's attorney says he was out of state and not at his Calabasas home during that raid today. The FBI says they're investigating allegations of criminal acts. Today, YouTube star Jake Paul is making headlines after an FBI raid at his home in Calabasas. Sky 5 was over the scene Wednesday morning as federal agents entered Paul's home in a gated community off Mulholland Highway. 24 feds, some in tactical gear, could be seen carrying evidence from the property, including several firearms. After the search, a SWAT team was seen leaving in a procession of law enforcement vehicles.
This story ends with a career collapsing under federal attention and a broken jaw that changed influencer boxing forever. But to understand how it reached this point, we have to rewind. Because when Anthony Joshua shattered Jake Paul's confidence in the ring on December 19, 2025, something else woke up behind the scenes. Things started moving fast. Too fast, and it didn't feel normal. Moments like this don't arrive quietly.
At any point did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Did you carry Mike?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Yeah, like there was a point where, you know, I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, you know, his age was showing a little bit. And I just have so much respect for him. And that like violence war thing between us, like after he slapped me, I wanted to, you know, be aggressive and take him down and knock him out and all that stuff. But that kind of went away as the rounds went on.
The loss happened the way critics expected, but darker and more damaging. This was not just a defeat. It was a signal, a moment that told everyone watching that the structure was fragile. Once that happened, people began pulling at old threads, and when they snapped, federal attention followed quickly. Jokes became sworn statements. Memes turned into evidence. Jake Paul's era stopped feeling loud and started feeling vulnerable. For years, fans noticed strange pauses, soft exchanges, and moments that felt rehearsed. At first, it was brushed off as entertainment. But curiosity never disappeared. It grew.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was 100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing glove throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul while they are clinching.
Then the Tyson fight changed everything, not with one clear moment, but with many small ones. Repeated glove biting, quiet words during clinches that didn't sound like trash talk, referee cues that felt planned. Suddenly, theories became organized, timed, written down round by round. When a leaked script surfaced, disbelief turned into fear. And the most unsettling part was that the script wasn't perfect. That suggested someone went off plan. Control slipped. And when control slips with this much money involved, someone benefits. Someone is lying.
That's definitely a crazy fight because of the weight differences. The weight difference in there, I only know one man that'll do the weight difference like that, and that's the Bronze Bomber. You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and you know, Joshua is a former, you know, champion, and also, you know, he's current, he's active, you know, and this is going to be the first time that we see Paul, you know, fighting an active fighter. You know what I mean? We seen the Mike Tyson, that was all fun, that was cute, you know what I'm saying? It's fun and games and stuff, but now you're dealing with a real professional, you know.
Anthony Joshua's entry into the story is where everything tilted. He was never supposed to be here. Not active, not elite, not an Olympic gold medalist fighting seriously. Once betting markets exploded and international money poured in, this stopped being content. If a fight is predetermined and money is involved, that becomes fraud. That's when federal agencies care. Joshua fought like a professional. Calm, patient, honest. When he landed and Jake Paul went down with a jaw broken in 2 places, the ring exposed the truth. Blood doesn't lie. Bones don't fake. And in that moment, the illusion collapsed backward through every past fight people once defended.
Discussion, any agreement about, hey, you need to get the fight into this round, you need to carry him for X amount of rounds, you need to do your part to get it into the 5th, 6th, or whatever.
Absolutely no way ever. I mean, if you look at a couple of the right hands that AJ missed with in the first couple of rounds, like they would have done the same job on Jake's jaw if they would have landed. And Jake did very well to avoid them. So I always said going into the fight, AJ's not the kind of guy that's going to come out like a train, just start swinging away. He's going to take his time And that's what he did. You know, the fight definitely went a few more rounds than anticipated from Anthony, but it's like, even now, it's like, yeah, it was definitely a fix. Some guy commented today on one of my posts, yeah, it was definitely a fix. I go, you do know that he's broken his jaw in 2 places. Like,
Here's the moment you should pay close attention to. Promoters didn't deny the accusations the way you'd expect. They didn't laugh. They didn't say it was impossible. Instead, they pointed to investigations. That alone should raise alarms. Only people close to the line talk like that. After the knockout, surgery, and public admission of defeat, the shift was immediate. Rebranding, legal threats, silence mixed with loud denials. Online, people noticed the tone change. Every response felt defensive, not confident. The story wasn't being explained. It was being managed.
California mansion has been raided by the FBI. Multiple news organizations report. You can see in this aerial footage agents in uniform outside his home in Calabasas. Ernie told Reuters he would cooperate with the federal investigation.
What's gonna look like after his boxing career?
People think I do steroids and all this shit, so I have a plan because I think it's fucking bizarre. That's like the only excuse they can come up with is like rigged fights. Jake Paul does steroids. So after boxing, I'm gonna do a cycle of steroids to show people what Jake Paul on steroids actually looks like, because I want to shut people the fuck up.
Then the PED questions poured fuel on the fire. Sudden muscle growth without speed loss. Heavyweight size with cruiserweight movement. Avoiding stricter testing. Dodging transparency. When Jake Paul joked about using steroids later just to prove a point, it didn't clear anything up. Clean fighters don't joke like that. Someone clipped those words and saved them for a reason. Online communities didn't cause this collapse. They documented it slowly. Timelines began matching reality after the Joshua fight. Analysts and casual fans reached the same conclusion at the same time. Belief is gone. And once belief is gone, the show is over.
Never once in Jake Paul's career been any talk of that sort, of anything to do with the fight being anything but a real fight that has exactly the same situation as any professional fight. And that's exactly the same thing here for the Anthony Joshua fight. It's just beyond mind-blowing that people would think that. Anthony Joshua was on record saying that if he didn't finish him in the first round, that would be disappointing, that it would be a failure. The narrative changed as we got closer to fight night and obviously post-fight, and I understand why, but they were pretty adamant it would take max 2 rounds to knock out Jake Paul.